Question 10a, factorise p of x equals x cubed plus 3x squared minus 13x minus 15. Starting off with working out the value of p of 1. When x equals 1, that's 1 cubed plus 3 times 1 squared minus 13 times 1 minus 15. We go through and we calculate that to be 1 plus 3 minus 13 minus 15 does not equal 0. So therefore x is equal to 1. That does not equal 0. So let's try minus 1. When x is minus 1, so we get minus 1 cubed plus 3 times minus 1 squared minus 13 times minus 1 minus 15. Minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 squared is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 13 times minus 1 is plus 13. And minus 15. So if we add together minus 1 and minus 15, we get minus 16. We add together plus 3 and plus 13, we get plus 16. So therefore we can see here that when x is equal to negative 1, p of x is equal to 0. So therefore, when x is equal to minus 1, we call that a solution to this particular problem, and therefore adding 1 to both sides. So therefore x plus 1 equals 0, and so therefore x plus 1 is a factor of p of x. So we can see here x minus 1, p of x minus 1 is 0, so therefore x plus 1 is a factor. So there's the first part of the answer. Now, so therefore we can write p of x like this now. It's equal to x cubed plus 3x squared minus 13x minus 15. Now that's equal to, now the two factors multiplied together. First factor is x plus 1, and then we've got to have the general form as a quadratic. So it's going to be ax squared plus bx plus c. So that we multiply this out, that's when we get our trinomial. So we multiply x plus 1 by this general quadratic, we're going to wind up with the trinomial. And therefore what we need to do now is we need to equate the coefficients. So if we have a look here on the left hand side, the coefficient of x cubed is 1, and on the right hand side it's x times x squared, which is x cubed, so it's ax cubed. So 1x cubed equals ax cubed, and so therefore equating the coefficients we get that a equals 1. So we've solved this particular value here. Now we need to solve the c value. Now the c value is we're equating the coefficients of x to the 0. So in other words, minus 15 is equal to c. So c is minus 15. Now the final part here, to be able to work out what the b value is, we need to go through and we need to work out the coefficients of the x squareds. So let's have a look at the x squareds. On the left hand side we've got 3x squared. Now on the right hand side, the ones that are going to come up with an x squared, and to do this I will change my colour. So I'm just going to change the colour of my pen. I'll change it to yellow. Now when we multiply x by b of x, that's going to be an x squared, and we multiply our 1 by ax squared, that's going to be an x squared as well. And so therefore I need to highlight those particular ones. So x times b of x is b of x squared. Whoops, I've accidentally made the pen heavier. Didn't mean to do that. B of x squared. Oh, now I've changed the colour of it. Stupid. Try that again. Oh, it's still heavy. How did that happen? Purple and lighter. That one. Now, and a of x squared times 1 is a of x squared. And so therefore 3 here on the left hand side is equal to a plus b. So 3 is equal to a plus b. Now we know that a is equal to 1. So therefore 3 is equal to 1 plus b. So therefore b must be equal to 2. So therefore I can substitute these values. I've got a value for c, I've got a value for a, and I've got a value for b. Now I can substitute them back into p of x to factorise it. So p of x is equal to x plus 1. Now our quadratic here is ax squared, which is 1x squared, because a is equal to 1, plus bx, b is equal to 2, plus 2x, and plus c, and c is minus 15. So now I've got to look carefully at this quadratic here and see if I can factorise that. So I want two numbers multiplied together that give me minus 15, but when added together give me plus 2. Now those two numbers are 5 and negative 3, and so therefore I've got x plus 1. Now I said 5 and negative 3. Now we can just check this. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. 5x minus 3x is 2x. And when I multiply 5 by negative 3 I get minus 15. So therefore this here I've factorised the quadratic, but that is the factorisation of the entire trinomial we started off with here at the start. So let's check our answer. We have x plus 1. Here it is, x plus 1, sorry. And we have x plus 5, and we have x minus 3. And so the other ways that you could actually go and solve this problem is we have a look here at x plus 5. So x plus 5 equals 0. So x is equal to minus 5 would be a solution. And so therefore p of minus 5 will also equal 0. And here x minus 3 equals 0. So when x equals 3, p of 3 would also be equal to 0. So back here at the start, when we did p of minus 1 is equal to 0, we'd also find that p of negative 5 would be equal to 0 and p of 3 would be equal to 0.